Can media kill us? Not diabetically gaming it up in mom's basement for 20 years kind of kill us, but neglecting to forward that chain letter and getting hacked to death by a clown from under your bed kind of kill us. I'm Patrick, and this is OverAnalyze. A lot of media out there that can really pique our phobias, like the movie The Ring, and the largest shared phobia in the world is the fear of death. However, there are some really weird phobias out there that can't be justified by death, like thalassophobia, the fear of sitting, and melanophobia, the fear of the color black.
Why you gotta be so melanophobic?
And then there's hippopotamonstrosis quipidalia phobia, the fear of long words. Just no talking to your psychiatrist about that one. For the most part, they stem from the fear of death, which in that case, your biggest fear should be life, since life is the leading cause of death. Except for the Tortopsis doornhai. Jelly, fish. This little jellyfish, under the right circumstances, can grow fully mature and then transform itself back into adolescence and continue this loop over and over again, rendering itself biologically immortal. It's the only organism we know of that literally has the capability to live forever, except for maybe Joan Rivers, and of course vampires, whom after millions of years always seem bored with the world, too cool for society. It makes me wonder if there's a traveling group of jellyfish out there that are just too cool for school. You know, pop collars, sunglasses, twisted sense of humor. Maybe we should do them all a favor and blast some suicidal music into the ocean. Which leads us to our first murdering media, Lavender Town Syndrome. Lavender Town is where all the dead Pokemon spirits reside in the old Pokemon games on Game Boy, and this is the song you hear every time you enter. According to the legend, the original Japanese release of the red and green version of Pokemon contained this song at certain frequencies that would give kids brain swelling, headaches, make them go crazy, and in some cases even commit suicide. Supposedly, Nintendo quickly tried to cover up the story and change the frequencies in the song before releasing it in the US. What we do know for sure is Nintendo did alter the song, and I do feel like I can get a headache listening to this, but I think the rest was just left up to the imagination of the interwebs. This also may have been spun off from the very true story of the Pokemon episode that aired in Japan, giving some kids seizures, and in a few extreme cases, hospitalizing them. I just thought that was regular for Japanese TV. What about some good old-fashioned American-made programming? Mickey Mouse. What could go wrong there? Welcome to Suicide Mouse. The story behind this one, Disney made this back in the early 30s, in its surrealist years. Then decades later, it was found and leaked onto the internet. And of course, it makes you commit suicide or somebody died watching, I don't even know. But what I really love about this is showing it to my friends and watching them go through 3 stages of Suicide Mouse. Stage 1. I mean, this isn't that bad. Like, the buildings are kind of like MS Paint-ish and the music's annoying, but I don't really want to commit suicide. Stage 2. Okay, that's kind of weird. Can we go back to the music? Stage 3. Every time. Now, Disney did experiment with surreal animation. I highly suggest googling a short film he worked on with Salvador Dali, Destino. But I don't believe Suicide Mouse is Walt Disney at all. I mean, I think the buildings look like MS Paint because they are MS Paint, and I don't think they were made more than like a decade ago. This story, along with many other false tales, was brought to us via 4chan, a website that happens to include a section called Creepypasta, where many of the internet's best urban legends were born. If you enjoy these, you should check out Slenderman, Ben Drowned, and a collection of many others. But out of all the noise out there has to be some truth, right? Cue Gloomy Sunday. Written in 1933 by Rezo Suret, that guy. Legend has it that the ex-girlfriend he wrote it for committed suicide shortly after the song's release, and she was found with a note that simply read, Gloomy Sunday. And reports from the 30s connect at least 19 suicides to this song, whether it's sheet music left on the piano or a record left playing in the room with the corpse. And even though this song was banned in multiple countries, I think the number of suicides has been a bit embellished to make the story sound more widespread than it actually was. That doesn't mean that a handful of people didn't kill themselves listening to this song, but suicidal people tend to listen to depressing tunes. I don't think depressing tunes causes suicide. Now be sure to subscribe and like this video, or your parents will be tortured to death in 7 days by laughing mountain goats. How about I give you $20? If you like our page at facebook.com/overanalyze and share a post about this video, you'll be officially submitted into a drawing for this $20 bill. Blair will pull the name at the beginning of the next episode.
Hey man, I think you should record all that. I doubt you're gonna remember it later.
Alright, so then you look back in time. So you're using light waves, like if you're standing on the moon and looking... Do you see this? I'm standing there for hours, just like What happened to all our footage? We're gonna have to reshoot.